love you, mama. You know I still love you. Dear mama, in the mailbox, and well, hell, I don't know that one. No, I just know mama, and I love you, mama. Oh, Sadie, don't you know I miss you, Sadie? You never heard no dear daddies. I'll always love my mama. OJ's, she's my favorite girl. Only get one, yeah. Mary Max this morning. We never hear no dear daddies. And I'll always love my daddy. He's my favorite guy. Only get one, yeah. You never, dear daddy, you know how I need you and how to get the money and put it in your mailbox. You never, anyway. Whew. When it wasn't not for daddies, there wouldn't be no mamas, you hear me? Because you had to drop that seed off in order for her to become a mama. But anyway. Happy Mother's Day, everybody. This is your man Rico. Rico the opinionist. Y'all know how I like to share thoughts, opinions about things. And today is Mother's Day. It's raining just a little. No, not that I come out anyway, because y'all know I like to be outside when I talk to y'all. And it's cool. I'm on the inside, but I'd rather be out and, out here as the old folks say, out in the woods. And talk to y'all about stuff. These ladies over here, what they doing? Working. But anyway. So, y'all, happy Mother's Day to my mom. And to the moms around the world, American across the world, who were legitimate who are not derelict in their duties as moms. Because some people just, because they push the kid out all of a sudden, they think they should get a happy Mother's Day. I don't work like that. But this year I want to make it something different. And if y'all can join me this year if you like. Happy Mother's Day, of course, to all our mothers. But also, can we say Happy Mother's Day to the Cafeteria Ladies? No, cause I was looking at social media earlier on Instagram and all that. They were talking about this one guy has a very funny but truthful meme about all the top 5 or the top 8 most delicious cafeteria foods. And it made me think about the cafeteria ladies. Now, I know all of us who went to school, those of us who attended school on free lunch or the lunch card and all of that, you remember the cafeteria ladies. Some of them were pretty mean and some of them were pretty nice, but all of them were very caring. Get it? And for those of us who were in the 1st to the 5th grade, or hell, junior high school, really those years, the 1st to the 6th grade. And I think a lot of our memories the bulk of our memories of our cafeteria experience comes from the cafeteria lady. And who, let's say if you got to, and I went to Hollywood Elementary School, when we walked to school there in North Memphis. Shout out to North Memphis, Hollywood, Springdale, Douglas, you hear me? So we'll get there. We got to school a little early. They'll say, y'all come on in here. And they'll give you a little breakfast with a very ice cold milk and the hardest frosted flakes you ever had to unpeel from a little plastic bowl. You damn it chipped the tooth trying to eat those frosted flakes with that little plastic spoon. Or they'll give you the little pigs in a blanket, the pancake with the sausage, with the King Cotton sausage. I don't know, it was just cafeteria sausage. You pour the syrup over it, or you got some oatmeal or something early. Or if you didn't have your lunch card, your mom didn't fill out the application or something, they'll still say, hey, baby. Because one thing about the cafeteria lady, they didn't let the little children starve. They didn't let you sit there and look crazy, even if you didn't have your lunch card. Even if sometimes your parents didn't get the application in on time, or even if she didn't take the time out to fill out the lunch application, she would still say, come on here, baby. Or let's say if you got to school late. The bell rang at 7:15. Kids are on their way. the class, and you get there like 7:20. But a lot of times you grew up in a black kid, grew up in a particularly economically challenged community, or you were economically challenged in your own house. Breakfast wasn't always plentiful. And so a lot of those breakfasts at schools were like the plan B of a lot of single parents. Got it? And so the cafeteria lady, you come in there late, and you see them, they already kind of wiping the tables down a little bit, some of them, and they kind of shut the door, but one door still be open. And you come in there and say, hey, I'm late, I just got to school. And they'll give you a little lecture. You here late again? Or how you been so late? So you as a third grader, a second grader, or a fourth grader, just kind of got to explain yourself. And then they say, now come on over here. And then you go sit at that table that they just wiped off. And because really when you came in there late, you was kind of horning in on their gossip time. Believe it or not, for us, we just came in as the cafeteria lady, but they still were coworkers. And so they be in there talking loud, talking about folks. You walk in on there late, but she'll still give you a bowl of cereal, give you the coldest milk that was ever made cold. I don't think I ever had any milk that cold after elementary school. Because, man, I'd say, how the hell they get milk this cold and there are no ice chips in it? The coldest damn milk. And then they give you a bowl of Frosted Flakes. If you're lucky, some Diggums, Sugar Smacks. And so they give you that, and they'll give you a banana. So you go in there, or sometimes if some was left, they'll let you hold one of them little semi-rubbery waffles. And they'll hook you up, and you go on to class. Then you make sure your mama get you here tomorrow. And they say, yes, ma'am. And so the cafeteria lady, even if some of you may have some memories of being in high school, and the cafeteria lady will see that you may be a little short or something. Now go ahead, now here, baby. They always say, here, baby, come sit down, baby. They always called you baby. So he let you know the cafeteria lady was somebody's mama as well. A lot of times the cafeteria lady was somebody's grandma. Most importantly, the cafeteria lady was all of our grandmas, all of our mamas when we were away from our mothers, when it came to feeding us. And so I want us to kind of put it, make it a part of our celebration each year, that when we say Happy Mother's Day to our own mothers, let's send a shout out and a Happy Mother's Day to the cafeteria ladies. Because those ladies were a part of our upbringing. Those ladies were a part of our nourishment. How we got fed. Let's not leave them out. Because the cafeteria lady was probably the least paid, and she didn't have a college degree. Even the cafeteria manager lady wasn't degreed. A lot of times, some of them were kind of a little tougher. Oh, hold on a minute. A lot of them were a little tougher than the ladies who worked behind the line. But but they were cool. And some of them were really feisty. Some of them was really nice. But the one who really, they would still feed you though. So I appreciate the cafeteria ladies. And so let me just say again, Happy Mother's Day to my mom. My mom, really cool, really nice to us growing up. She wasn't perfect but when I say she wasn't perfect, it wasn't no brutal imperfection or some hood imperfection or some drug addicted imperfection or even including alcohol imperfection. She was just a young single mother, so she wasn't perfect, and she made her decisions, I guess, about parenting as she went along. So far so good, I guess. And and as they say, she worked with what they have. But again, I must say the moms of the 60s and the 70s, 60s and 70s, they were cut from a different cloth. The single moms of then, and y'all know how I feel about single motherhood. But the single moms of that day, they weren't parading around like it was a badge of honor. It was actually a badge of shame. And they tried to, literally stay out the way, as opposed to these millennial and Gen Z single mamas. Terrible people. Ugh. Not all, but most. Too many. They want to be seen and heard. And so, but my mom was really nice. My mom never beat us. She never cussed us out, except for get your ass in the room. You know, everybody got that. Get in the room. But she ain't say, get out of my damn face. She never talked to me like that. Maybe that's why I act, because I'm not used to that kind of behavior from women or from other people. I don't allow old people to talk crazy to me. Now, my grandma was tough. My mom never, dehumanized us. Now, I can't say this around there with moms around us. My mom never came to school and embarrassed me. If she had to come to school, she was like she was going on a job interview, because my mom understood the importance of image and presentation. And even we talk about, I'm 54, we still talk about some of those times how it was so few, because she told us in the beginning, don't have the folks calling my house. And so we understood the assignment from all the way to 12th grade. I think I got suspended for my first time in the 12th grade. Now, this was 87, going into 88, but it's 87. And I was on the school bus. Was I on the school? No. Because the senior year I was catching the city bus, so it had to be like my junior year. Because the next year they stopped busing in 87. So that 87, 88 school year, I rode the city bus. I caught the 19 Valentine, and then I connected to the 10 Watkins that took us to Frazier. For those of you from Memphis, you know what I'm talking about. And so, make sure I had the 10 Thomas or the 10 Delano. If you got on the 10 Delano and the 10 Whitney, you were finna go to Frazier High School. You were finna go around Frazier Boulevard and the skip, but you had to get on the 10 Thomas, I think. I think the 10, yeah. And so, but now she came up like she was going to a job interview. And meaning she dressed appropriately, her hair was done, clothes, everything was on point. As opposed to, when she went up there to listen to what was being said, and she didn't automatically blame us or me when I got suspended, because we were still getting ridden up on the bus. This is 87. Ridden up on the bus. The bus driver wrote us up because we back there talking, and I told the guy, I said, man, you a damn lie. And she went to writing people up, and she said, what's your name? I said, my name? Yeah, you on here cussing too. I said, I didn't cuss. And she wrote me up and went to the little sister principal. That man suspended me. I was really traumatized. I couldn't believe it. I said, I've been to school all these years, never got one infraction on something that's worthy of suspension, and this SOB suspends me? Yeah, I had attitude, that cat. I really had some resentments. I couldn't believe it. And so came on in, my mom, he would talk to me, and I would just say yes, no. My mom was like, say yes, sir. Like, no. No to him. I'm like, no, I don't respect you, dude. You suspended me, and I'm damn near about to be a senior. That, for me, that was a blemish on my personal record. And so, yeah, but my mom came to school when there was some foolishness going on when I was in the second grade, because I had an awesome first grade teacher. Shout out to Mrs. Johnson, by the way. She passed away, Mrs. Mary Johnson. Loved her. She used to eat grapes and other fruits as she walked around the class, making sure we were writing, making sure we were reading well, and she would have us reading aloud. But she always had just bags of fruit. And sometimes I look at her eating those damn grapes and peeling back those bananas. I'm like, ma'am, can I have just a couple of those grapes off that vine? It's like she had the only grapes in the city. They still had the cold sweat. When the grapes are cold and the little sweat is still on them, or the wet is still on them. That's what she had. They always appeared to be so crunchy and juicy. I'm like, ma'am, mess with your boy, please. Stop standing on me eating them damn grapes. And yeah, I got to see her when she was like 83 years old before she passed away. She still remembered me too. Shout out to Miss Mary Johnson. But in the second grade, I had this bitch. Shocking white lady. This is 77, 78. Something like that, yeah. And her name was Miss Bledsoe. Skinny white lady, blonde white lady. Of course, little kids come up to elements. I think I had an adenoids problem. I used to fall asleep in class and be snoring like I've been drinking the night before. And she'll take her hand and move my face around. And she just literally move my shit around. And one time she pulled, when I fell asleep, and I still have the picture, I fell asleep in class. We were getting ready to line up to take class pictures. And I know it's still Mother's Day. Y'all know how I go off on tangents. And so I had and I can show y'all the picture one day. I had on my little green suit, had on a yellow turtleneck. My afro was dented on the side because I had fallen asleep waiting on them to call our class. You know, they called about a room number 5-2 or 2-3. And our class is like, man, it's taking forever. So, you know, little kids, second grade, you know, if we're not moving around, they tell us to sit still. We were sitting still for, you know what, I dozed off. The next thing you know, she pulls me up by my neck like a vice grip, put her fingers around my neck and pulled me up, get up. And I had taken a pencil and circled in like the M-A-R-I-C-O. So the A, I took a pencil and circled that in. And then the O, I took a pencil and circled in the O. And then I colored in with my pencil a border around my name on my name tag. She pulled me up out of my sleep and said, erase that right now. And I'm like, I snatched it like, bitch. You know, of course I'm saying bitch now, but of course, second grader, that's what I was thinking, I'm sure. And so she got me up and stood me in line, no, aggressively put me in line, and I had to get myself together, and my little fro kind of dented because I fell asleep. I'd fallen asleep, and we got in line, took the picture, but I'll never forget the activity leading up to my picture. I told my mom about how she talked about my breathing in class. Marika, you're breathing kind of loud. She used to say shit like that. And I told my mom came up there. All I know is they went outside the classroom. And I saw her head a little moving, and she nodded her head like in defense, like, no, I know, blah, blah. I looked, and so after then, you know, I had an appointment to go to the doctor to get the adenoids and tonsils removed. But that day, all I know is she came in there. She just started treating me nicely. After my mom came and visited up there, and I think there was the only time that she came to visit the class as it relates to a teacher acting a fool. And I think after then I didn't really tell much. I had this fifth grade bitch, Virginia Mosley. Oh, that's in my book, by the way. Y'all check it out. It's called The Greatest Pain Ever Felt. Conversation with the absent biological father, never want to be found. Only $10. Fool with me if you're cool with me. $ Rico the Opinionist or $ Rico Rivers. If you send the Cash App, please send an email address so I can send it right back to you. Have I added that story to this one? I don't think so. But I plan to do a part 2, and that story will be in that. And so anyway, you know, I'm just talking about my mom. And so pretty cool. You know, just like a lot of moms back then, you know, I think she came through the 11th grade and that was it. And but what we remember about her growing up, she was always there. My mom, we lived off of Hollywood. You know, our houses were like government houses. You know, whole families lived together, me, grandma, cousins, aunts, and all that. So pretty much, you know, the food stamps, the welfare checks, you know, and everybody pitching in together how we came up. And so that's why I can say I saw my mom. She was at home every day when we came home from school. So skipping school was not an option. Where you going to skip to? You weren't finna go home. And then during those days, you might well stay in school because we had those truancy officers in those little Aries K cars. They used to ride you down and get your ass and chunk you in that little back seat and drive you back to school where you got a paddling from the principal and they called your parents. Those are the good old days of truancy. So if you skip school, you skip school on your front porch. You want skipping school in restaurants at 11 o'clock in the day, 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9, 10 o'clock in the daytime. You 14, 15, 10, 7, 16 years old. Let's walk in the neighborhood. They didn't play that. And so she had to worry about that. But when we all became of age, like 16, 17, we started working and stuff. My mom went back to work. Or went to work. Started getting her first series of jobs, and boom. You know, I can say I always remember my mom being at home and always there. And you know, we weren't put off on babysitters because, hell, we all live in the same house, so hell, babysitters were there. But she wasn't gone like that. She wasn't. And that's not me. This is not cap. It's the truth. And I'm not saying this is a normal thing, you know, people leaving their kids and stuff. Now, it's very normalized now, but back then in the 70s, if you like, 50 and up or 45 and up, you know, what your parents was there. single mom or not. No, you were there. You were always with a house full of family members. But right now, it's shit. Moms be leaving kids, going out the club, or chunking them on grandma. My grandma didn't play that. My grandma didn't play that. So we got to, my brother, my sisters, and I, we got to see my mom every day. And because of that bond, and hell, my brother and I, we still, when we go home, we still lay in the bed with her and sit up and talk or just fall asleep. We still do that in our 50s, still lay in the bed with her. Just go ahead and just lay down there, grab one of the pillows and start out talking. Next thing you know, we sleep. Because we did that when we were younger. Always, just got in the bed, went and lay down and talked and stuff. We still have that bond today. That's for those of you young mamas today, y'all know what that is. It's called nurturing and bonding. And so we were never afraid of going near her because it was just almost, it was welcomed. We always know, and we were little kids, like 4, 5, 6, and all that kind of stuff. All 4 of us would be in the room with her. Somebody be clipping toenails, somebody be busting bumps on her face. If it was a bust or bump, that was usually me. I don't know why I didn't grow up to be. I could have been the Dr. Pimple Popper had I pursued my fascination of busting pimples. And I was a little kid, it's something about it splashing on the mirror or splashing from. I said, damn, I had all kinds of career choices and didn't know it. I could have been the new Dr. Pimple. I could have been then or retired Dr. Pimple Popper. And then my sisters would be combing her hair, partying, greasing the scalp. So we doctored on her almost damn near every Sunday morning. So, and she just lay there and just let her 4 kids just, busting pimples, clipping toenails, scratching and combing her hair. She just, and so all that, they're just part of it. And one thing about that, you would think to all the ladies who are probably listening, they said, well, damn, y'all some mama's boys, are you? Yes. Yeah. We've had our disagreements about politically and philosophically, but yeah. But one thing about my brother and I, and let's to our quote-unquote mama's boyism, we didn't allow it to affect our private social lives or, in our relationships. It wasn't an infection or a disease the way there was so many men today. We didn't drop what we were doing because why? In case his mom called and she did all that, extra, and dudes would drop their wives, would drop their relationship to go and, do what their mama want and see what's going on with her. We were never ever socially engineered to have that behavior with our mother. She never dipped into our personal relationships. She never made herself like she was above any woman on the planet. A lot of these mamas do this while a lot of these guys can't hardly, be with nobody because they think, man, my mama, man, on my mama, man, on my dead granny, and all that shit. Just weird behavior. We're bonded another way. My mom was always, she's always been supportive of what we do. They agree to disagree, still supportive. And of course, still give guidance and that motherly conversation about things. And yes, of course, y'all know me. There's some disagreements that are going on. And also, she allows herself to be taught about certain things. She still has those old traditional ways of thinking. But it's cool. Doesn't bother us or keep us away. And I don't want to be around her. She get on my nerves. We never had those thoughts. Man, I want to go there. I want to go to my mama's house, man. She gonna be with this shit. And I want to. Never had those thoughts, and this is no cap, really. She never made herself when we were growing up as young men, living our lives in our 20s and 30s or what have you, doing us. She never made it like she was, somebody that made herself a burden where we can hardly live our lives without worrying about her, like so many mothers do. They feel so damn entitled. That's what it is. My mom never felt like she was entitled to whatever to us when we became adults. Y'all know, y'all kind of understand what I'm saying? Because we got a lot of mama. I'm your mama. She never said that stupid shit to us. Never. Well, I'm your mama because this, that, and other. She never said that. Now I've heard her say, just because that's just Maybe it's a black mama thing. Well, you know, if you don't know how to treat your mama, you ain't gonna never have no good luck. No, she said that and repeated that. But, you know, I'll always tell her, I said, that's not true. That's just some old Negro wives' tale. That's not true. If people have bad luck, if y'all believe in that like that, or good luck, it's just part of life's existence, not because. Almost like they're going to put the karma thing on. Well, if you don't treat your mama right, even if your mom has been a total bitch, a total mommy dearest, a total bully, there are a lot of children, adult kids and young kids, still held hostage by their weird ass philosophy. My mom never, hung that over our heads. That's why a lot of stuff my brother and I can't holler. We can't identify with. I'm here to tell you, a lot of this stuff that these grown adults are going through with their parents. I hear grown ass men talking about, man, I'm still scared of my mama. I know they probably say it in jest, but to say it is stupid. If you ever said that, there's something wrong with you. You're not fully developed. Because I never said, man, I'm still scared of my mama. Now, when I was a child, like shit, she's the authoritarian and all of that. And also, but when I became a teenager, 15, 16, I wasn't afraid of my mother. Her teaching us about the importance of behavior and self-respect and how you perceived in the public based on her own movements, not just her words, but her actions. See, my brother and I didn't get into a lot of foolishness. No, if we did, it never came home if there was such a case. We didn't do it not because we were afraid of her, because we didn't want to embarrass her. We didn't want to embarrass her. And we didn't want to embarrass ourselves, but therefore embarrassing her. That's why as teenagers, my brother and I didn't get into a whole lot of foolishness. I know I didn't get into none, with the criminal justice system of gangs and selling dope and becoming a teenage dad and all that stupid shit. We didn't do that because we didn't want to embarrass our mother. And I think that's something that's lost on a lot of young people. They don't have a problem making an ass out their mother and father. These motherfuckers, oh, sorry, Mother's Day, I'm sorry, y'all. Sorry to all the moms today. But they will, they'll get pregnant in a heartbeat in 9th grade. Your mama at work working 2 jobs, you finna get pregnant. Or junior, senior year, get pregnant. Get pregnant at prom. After, and then they got to watch this. Then the parents have to feign this pride, feign this happiness. You walking across the stage with a belly. That shit is stupid. They don't have that same kind of. I don't know if they were ever taught that respect or whatever, but it's just weird. So my brother and I we didn't do that kind of stuff because we didn't want to embarrass her. And I wish teenagers and young people had that same kind of reverence for their parents, not because they're afraid of them, because they respect themselves and respect the parents. But even back then, we had a lot of parents who was just out of line, letting your sons sell dope, letting your daughters dance in the strip club, all that kind of mess. Let them come home with babies and shit. My mom with us. No, didn't have to. Now, did we have a black sheep in our family between us? Yeah, we did. Cause she, of course, one of us, the brothers, and one of our sisters that decided to do all that stupid shit. But neither here nor there, I guess, because we're all in our 50s and children are grown. Now you got grandkids and great nieces. However, still, that's why I said nothing was perfect, but there was an effort being made to behave and I think that effort has kind of been lost on a lot of today's Zillennials and millennials. They tend to do what they want to do and don't believe that whatever you decide to do, it comes back on the parents. It's like they don't care. I think a lot of them don't, because this is the entitled generation. They don't give a crap, and so we didn't put our mom through that. Now, was she worried about me a lot of times? Well, yeah, of course. When you have a son who's outspoken, who speaks, who's active, community-wise, active with protesting and standing up, it'll make any mother or father nervous about the safety and the perception of their child. I think especially when I was in college, I used to write and tell her all the stuff I was doing, and of course, as far as me writing my newsletters and protesting on campus, all I know, I would write her and let her know. Sometimes I talk to her and she was like, boy, leave those people alone. And she didn't understand that, that I'm sure Dr. King's mother, I'm sure Jesus' mother, I'm sure Medgar Evers, I'm sure Malcolm, all the mothers probably told him, son, leave those people alone. But, when you're one of those chosen or you're given an assignment, that's just what you do. I wouldn't, I think people are upset because they get upset by the fact that some truth is being told when they weren't prepared or don't want to hear it. And that goes anytime, So unless you're doing it in a way, I don't know, it's weird. You just can't be viewed as a militant. But if you speak the particular talking points of the accepted talking points, that is, it's okay. But I wasn't speaking the accepted talking points. I'm going straight to your jugular when it come to race, when it come to anything else. The truth. I told it what it was. I didn't put no sugar in that vinegar. And so she would be worried about that. And to an extent, even today, she's somewhere, but not as worried as she was when I was in my 20s out there going hard. And even at Grambling or even in Memphis, I got to be in my early 30s. Yeah. But also, when I got good write-ups, let's say a couple of them in Commercial Appeal, the newspaper, she's proud about that. But yeah, it's mothers, it's mom, my mom, So it's pretty cool. So it wasn't. Again, my brother and I don't have those weird ass, almost Oedipus thoughts about my mom, man. Cause I see dudes, grown dudes. I look at their pictures. When I take a picture of mom, I'm real cognizant of how the picture looks, and I'm like, look, I'm her son, not her man. So when I take pictures with her, make sure they know that's son. But some of these pictures, I see these dudes, they be even when they kiss their moms, I say, ew, that's little Oedipus Rex, and hug all on them like that. I said, that's a little different. You can hug on them and stuff, but it's almost like, I don't know. I guess you have to see what I'm seeing. And the way you look at them, just stare at them, oh, mom, oh. Almost like a lustful, lovingly kind of stare. I'm like, what's wrong with these fatherless fools? Yeah, I was fatherless too, but I wasn't in love with my mother. And these guys think that is part of their manhood, to be in love with their mothers. And I wasn't in love with my mother. I'm not in love with my mother now. I love my mother. I'm not in love with her. And these young dudes today, these teenagers, young 20-some-year-old rap-loving, little pants-sagging, tight, skinny jeans wearing little bags. Oh, my mama, man. Oh, my mama, man. You meet his mama. That woman is terrible. She sounds just like him. Y'all get your ass out of here now. You'll get your all over there and buildings hitting blunts. Or just a fussy, meanie broad. Oh, my mama, man. But they said that a lot of these people who grew up neglected, emotionally neglected or physically abused, they be in love with the abuser. What's the name? What's that word? I'm about to say it. When you fall in love with your abuser. A lot of these guys have that weird, what do you call it? Somebody put it up there. Yeah, when you fall in love with your capturer, you fall in love with your abuser. Dog, that word escapes me right now. But I think a lot of these black children today have that kind of love. Wow. But it'll come to me probably when I'm done with this live. But anyway, my mom was awesome. Overall, she was awesome. She used to talk to us. My mom never slapped me in my face. She never verbally assaulted me or us. So I don't know. I'm not familiar with that. People talk about the abuse they received. I say, hey, I'm unfamiliar. My mom never slapped her face. She never said, get your ugly ass out of my face. You look like your goddamn dad. She never talked like that. Yeah, this is a black mama. Young black mama. Never spoke like that. And she's gotten mad at us. I know her and my auntie used to tell us, all the kids in the house messed up the house for probably the 30th time in 2 days. Y'all are tear up hell. But never slap me. And I've seen parents slap their sons. Mama slapping their sons and punching them in the face and all that kind of mess. Never got it. Don't know anything about it. Now, when smacked on the back of the head like, get in this house, boy. I got, I got that. You know, was I given a spanking, a whooping? Yeah, but never a beating. That was my grandma's generation. They believe in my grandma's generation, you know, making the girls get naked and whip them with stitching cords and shit. Nah, that wasn't. My mom didn't behave like that. So I'll say Happy Mother's Day to my mom strictly for that, if not anything else. Happy Mother's Day to her, and may we continue to have many more with her. And anyone else who's had a really legitimately good mother who didn't try to psychologically manipulate you into taking care of her when y'all got grown. My mother never did that. Let me tell y'all something else. Y'all give me a minute. Hold on. She never did that. You know how when teenage boys go out and get jobs in the house, yeah, mother's probably tight, but my mom was always interested in my brother and I, learning on our own and getting stuff on our own. And when she saw us doing it, she allowed opportunities for us, 10 years old, to go out and make some money, throwing a newspaper or cutting yards. My mother never said, hey, son, hey. Never held a hand out to ask us for no money. She never did that because she understood, well, that's their money, and so they need to do what they want to do with it. For real. Now, my grandma, on the other hand, whew, my God. But my mom never did that. So that's why we always made sure we got her a Christmas present, birthday present, Mother's Day stuff. Because she never did us like that. You got these, well, you need to help out in here and all that. She never did that. And made us feel obligated, to try to force us to feel obligated, like we need to take care of her. She never, ever, ever intimated, never even made a statement, never. Because I guess even as a young single mama, when she was, I think by the time she had all of us, my mom was 20, 21, I had all four of us. Even then, she understood, she accepted her responsibility as a mom to these children. Not try to raise the children to be her retirement plan. Never did it. And so I appreciate that. I can go down a list of things, and I see the kids next door to me, other kids on my street. I would see what they was going through, how their moms were treating them like dogs or neglecting them, leaving them at home all the time. My brother and I, we can't. We cannot attest to any of that. We cannot identify with any of that because we weren't brutalized. We weren't verbally disrespected. We weren't beaten. We weren't called ugly names. We were not. That's why I look at these single moms today and I just shake my head. I say, you broads out of line. She understood when she had those children, it was no longer about her. Now, my mom, she was young. I got to see her young. I got to see her put on her makeup and then their wigs and her very small eyelash. Make her face up and go out and on a Friday night and come back. But it was still aunt or something still at home and all of us cousins and stuff at home. So we wasn't left alone. But she went out with her friends every once in a while. She didn't go out and stay gone on trips to Dubai. Or out in Atlanta stripping for 2-3 days and come back. She didn't do none of that. So, yeah, we were pretty lucky in the mom department as relates to that. In the nurturing and the raising part, and encouraged us to be entrepreneurs. We sell candy. I remember Mr. Archie used to come around and come get us, and I got a chance to sell candy, make my own little money. And so I was doing so cool selling candy for this guy, Archie Muhammad. Shout out to Mr. Archie. What's up, man, wherever you are. He would come and get my brother and I. He came and asked my mom we could sell candy for him. He remembered in our living room, and he let us know. And he was a reputable guy because he had a wife and about 7 kids at home at that time. We all get on the van. He'll go through the hoods and pick up these dudes. Sometimes be like 9, 10, 11 of us, 12 of us on his little station. It wasn't a station wagon, like a SUV kind of, not a Bronco, but it's like a Chevrolet something back in that day. Back for just boxes of candy. We would sell them. Come home that night about, for 1983, 84, or maybe 80, yeah. Shit, having like $20 in your hand. In school, cookies are like 15 or 20 cents or 25 cents. Shit, you came there with $20 back then, and gas was like, it was like 90 cents. Man, please. Ice cream sandwiches for everybody, you hear me? Man, little mama, go and get that pack of lemon cookies. I got you. What's up, though? Oh, balling with $20. And this was each night we went. Sometimes 20, sometimes 15, sometimes 25. Just little money for a 13-year-old, 14-year-old. And then got to the point where, again, this is the early 80s. We got to the point where we told our mom, at least about the 8th, 9th grade, said, you don't have to buy us any more school clothes. You don't have to buy us any more school clothes. That was my brother. But so that's what we say, you can buy our sisters, you can buy their school clothes. It got to the point where I kind of got out of the clothes she was picking anyway. I remember one time, I think it was the final straw for me when she bought these boots for me. They was boy boots, but I'm like, I don't like these. I wore them a couple of times. It was pretty cool. Wore to like one of the dances at Cypress or something like that. But she said, well, I guess you go ahead and buy your own. Went to Payless and found these boots for me because it was cold. It was like boots. It was cool. But I didn't particularly care for them. But she just told me, hey, you know, you have to buy the kind you like. So that's what I did. I told her, you don't have to buy me more school clothes. And she didn't. Since the 8th grade, my mom didn't have to buy me any more school clothes. Because her allowing us to go out and work. And then when I got to, 16, got to like the 10th grade, got my little, I wasn't selling candy anymore. I started selling candy on my own in high school. Went to the place and got our own box of candy, box of chips, and was, killing them at school. So what's that, 25 cents for the blow pops, 50 cents for the bags of chips, killing them. Come home like 40, 50 bucks off a box. Man, it was slanging it like it was crack in my high school, Fraser High School. And then I got my high school. Then after that, got my after-school jobs. From Western Sizzling to Sewell's, Allen's, Big Star, and Piggly Wiggly, and she just set us out on that trail. Hey, get your own, buddy, and it's cool. And when we got it, we'll try to share it with her. She didn't care. She was a very humble lady. So anyway, happy Mother's Day to my mom again. Happy Mother's Day to those moms who are like that, or even better. But, I guess some of y'all now, your mom is old. She's not as big of a emotional abuser bitch as she was when y'all was growing up. So, she's gotten closer to God now that she's in her 70s, 80s. She's trying to get to heaven now. I guess y'all can go ahead and wish that lady a happy Mother's Day, too. But anyway, I just wanted to come out here today like it stopped raining. Long enough for me to say this end part. Y'all be cool and enjoy the rest of your day. Take mom out to lunch. It's still a good day to go on the inside and have a decent brunch. And we'll talk in the future. All right? Peace.